From above, you can finally see the full shape of what this stadium is becoming. The bowl is closing in. The structure that once looked like a construction site is starting to look like an arena. And on the ground, the details tell the same story. Precast concrete stairs are going into the third runway piece by piece, turning raw framework into something people will actually walk through on match day. This week at Spotify Camp Nou, the compression ring is in its most active phase yet. 2 full sectors of lamas are done at Gol Norte, and one corner is days away from seeing its first slats go up. The roof is taking over. Let's start at Gol Norte, where the progress this week is the kind you don't expect to find, finished until you're standing right in front of it. 2 full sectors in this corner are now completely covered in lamas, slats fitted edge to edge, with no gaps remaining. When the last update went out, those areas were only halfway there. That's not gradual progress. That's a significant push, likely completed overnight or in a single session. But here's the catch. The next sector along is anchored and structurally ready, yet the slats aren't going up yet. The reason? Painting. Workers are on rollers right now, working black paint between the bolt gaps on the vertical beams. Every slat that goes up before that paint dries risks being permanently stained. And the zone that's getting closest to that finish line isn't where most people are watching. The compression ring is the undeniable star of this site right now, and the lateral zone is where you feel it most. Since Monday, a third phalange has arrived, alongside 3 radial beams and 2 pillars staged and waiting for their lift. One of those radial beams has already gone up. A piece that was sitting at ground level just days ago has been elevated to position. What makes this week's lateral zone especially interesting is the scale of what's being prepared simultaneously. Workers on elevated platforms are installing protective barriers on top of the flanges so crews can work at height safely. Diagonal and vertical connections between lama supports are being completed in the same zone where compression ring assembly is running. 2 major systems advancing in parallel in the same stretch of structure. The question is how long the balance holds, because one of them is about to start pulling more resources than the other. At the South Goal, the story this week is about a shift that happened live, in real time. The vertical beam dividers for the lama supports have started going in. You can see them already placed in the closer sections, though a few spots further back still need theirs. More importantly, the anchors weren't installed yet at the start of filming. Then a platform lift arrived, and within minutes, workers were setting anchors on both sides simultaneously, moving quickly. That's the moment this corner crossed from structural prep into active lama preparation. A concrete pump is also stationed here, currently paused. There are still sections of this zone that need poured concrete, and that work is running alongside everything else. This corner is further along than it looked a week ago, and it's about to look even different. You'd think the corner areas, with all the angular complexity they involve, would be the last to see slat installation begin. But one corner is sitting right on the edge of that moment. Workers here have been aligning anchors and threading guides for days. The mobility core in this zone is now heavily populated with installed beams, an area that was visibly behind just a short time ago. A pillar with yellow markings has been repositioned and staged for lifting, which means another compression ring element in this corner is next in the queue. On the lama side, no slats are installed yet in the false ceiling area, but the crane used for that installation is present. The material is nearby, and the guides are going in. The end of this week or early next is when this changes. The Tribuna zone is carrying more activity than it looks like from a distance. Elevated platforms are running on the black beams, workers are installing lama support connections, though some vertical unions are still outstanding in parts of this zone. The detail that stands out most here is the return of Faraya. Reinforcing steel bars, which had largely disappeared from this site over the past weeks, are back, being hoisted by crane up to the first cantilever level. That's not a minor observation. It means structural concrete reinforcement work is resuming in this zone alongside the lama prep, which tells you the interior structural work isn't as complete as the exterior progress might suggest. Scaffolded areas are occupied, pieces are moving up, and the rhythm here is busier than the visual impression it gives from outside. In the central lateral zone, the pace of radial beam elevation is driving a secondary logistical operation all its own. As each beam goes up, new elevated platforms need to follow, and trucks are delivering those platforms continuously to keep up. It sounds simple, but it signals something important. The compression ring assembly here isn't pausing between lifts. They're building the access infrastructure in real time alongside the structural installation. There's significant noise across this entire lateral stretch, with parallel operations running in the parking entrance area at the same time. Workers are visible on multiple platforms in different spots simultaneously. This zone is in full construction mode right now, and the density of activity here matches anything else on the site. 2 additional zones are worth tracking this week. In the corner near Gol Norte, black sandwich panels, the horizontal cladding elements mounted on beams below the llama line, are being installed in some sections and prepped in others. Workers are cutting panels on site to fit their positions, which means installation in those spots is imminent. In the Gol Norte middle zone, a batch of sandwich panels is staged and ready to go up over the next few sessions, with workers attending to the beam supports they'll mount onto. Back in the far corner, welding is active. Workers in full protective gear are fitting joint connections onto vertical beams where the llama support pieces will attach. The upper cantilever levels here are quieter, with most of the focused work happening at the lower levels and inside areas that aren't visible from the perimeter. So, here's where the project stands after this week's full tour. The compression ring has moved firmly into its most active phase. Material is arriving faster than it's being lifted, which means the assembly rate is about to accelerate. Llama installation has crossed a threshold in Gol Norte, with 2 complete sectors and a paint prep race underway to unlock the next ones. A corner that has been ready for slats for days is now within days of seeing them go up. And Faraya, returning to the Tribuna zone, tells you there's still structural concrete work running beneath all of it, quietly threading through a project that looks more exterior complete than it actually is. Next week, watch the compression ring lifts. If the material staged on the lateral side starts going vertical, the pace of this build shifts gear entirely. If you want to be there when the first llamas go up in that corner, and when the compression ring starts its next major lift, subscribe to Goat Stadiums. We're back on site next week.